Welcome back to my channel, guys. Welcome back. So ORESHNIK. Everywhere people are talking about that. US Pentagon office, they actually issued a warning saying that this is something becoming very, very serious. And Russia is boasting about this particular missile, saying that nobody has an answer for this missile. I want you to take a look at this ORESHNIK missile, and then we can discuss more everything in details. But before I move on, just to remind you, most of my viewers are not subscribed. If you happen to be one of them, consider subscribing. So this is what you get when you see ORESHNIK. This is a multiple entry vehicle missile, if you want to call it that way, simply because, as you can see, the tip of the missile, it opens up right here, and then it exudes, if you like, multiple entry missile. Basically means it is almost like a hazel. So it shoots out missiles from within a missile, if you want to call it that way, that can hit targets 5,500 kilometers away. And they're very, very precise. They're very, very accurate, making this missile unbeatable, literally. So take a look at this one a little bit here. I'm just going to actually play the video a little bit here and see. This is how this missile is functioning. So from this device, they open up more missiles that can carry even nuclear warheads. And this is why it is so dangerous to the whole world. And obviously Russia, they're very, very happy with this development, and Putin said we're going to be using this again. You can see it can be used for nuclear explosion, and also it can be used for conventional warfare. And then if you take a look at the speed of it, so this is the hazel that people talk about on the internet about this particular missile. So these are multiple re-entry missiles. So from that one missile, they have this multiple other missiles that gets unleashed, and it can shoot target very accurately, very precisely. And this is why it is so dangerous again. And if you see here, the speed of it is Mach 10, which is faster than the sound, the speed of sound, and it has a speed of 12,300 kilometers per hour, which is 3.4 seconds per 3.4 kilometer per second. And as you can see, when the trouble and when they reach their target, they're very accurate and very, very successful. And this is where it can cover. So as if you take a look at the world map, this is where Russia is, obviously, but other than Russia, it can cover anywhere pretty much in the world. And now Australia is right here. It can also cover Australia if it is being shot at Australia, but as you can see here from the screen, it can go to United States. So this is the range, okay, from all the way to the end of the world, from north to south, east to west. So it has this range, and that is why it is so dangerous for not just US and Europe, but also for any country who would try to mess up with Russian security, safety, and security. They will not hesitate to launch these missiles. And as you can see, if you use any anti-missile to shoot it down from the sky, you will not be successful whatsoever. Now, why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about ORESHNIK? Why ORESHNIK is making such a buzz? It is because of this particular video. Take a look what this lady is saying here from Pentagon. Take a listen.
This was based on an intelligence assessment that it's possible that Russia could use this ORESHNIK missile in the coming days. And so, they have used this type of capability before. I know you reported on it then. Again, I think the point of us getting out this information is to also ensure that, this is not going to be a silver bullet change to the battlefield. The war is going to continue, and our support for Ukraine is going to continue.
Looks like this is absolutely a disaster, because you hardly see Pentagon coming out and talking about this particular missile, ORESHNIK.
That intelligence include any assessment of what targets it might strike?
I'm just not going to be able to give you more.
Okay, so yeah, she doesn't have any more details other than the one she already gave. But again, ORESHNIK even mentioning that name by Pentagon shows this missile matter, because if it does not, then they will not talk about this. They'll just brush it off. This is what they do usually when they see something that they can play it down. They will do it, but this time, no, it is ORESHNIK, and we are taking notice of that. Now, take a look at this particular news. Or actually video that I actually played the other day, where you clearly see that Putin is boasting and bragging about this particular missile system, ORESHNIK. And take a look at how people are also reacting when he mentioned about that particular missile.
Ядерную доктрину. Мы ее совершенствуем. А так, по большому счету, нам теперь нужно не ядерную доктрину совершенствовать, а орешник. Потому что, так-то, если разобраться, достаточное количество этих современных систем оружия ставят просто на грань практически отсутствия необходимости применения ядерного оружия.
Basically, Russian Putin is saying that ORESHNIK is so powerful that you do not need a nuclear weapon. The day of using nuclear weapon is coming to an end, because the ORESHNIK in of itself is more than enough. Now, Putin, his army destroyed U.S. missiles. According to one report, Russia might even target Zelensky's headquarters in Kiev. So basically, Russia has warned of a significant retaliation following a Ukrainian strike on a Russian military airfield in Taganrog. The Russian Defense Ministry claimed that Ukraine used 6 U.S. So they have used like 6 U.S. Supplied ATACMS missiles, 6 U.S. ATACMS missiles to carry out the attack. The missiles debris reportedly resulted in casualties among Russian military personnel. In response, Russia vowed that Ukraine's action would not go unanswered. What we now seeing these days is that the retaliation of Ukrainian attack on Russia is increasing, because Russia is holding Ukraine accountable for the ATACMS and the Storm Shadow missile launched from Ukraine, supplied by US and UK every single day. They are holding Ukraine accountable. And this is only going to go on for a very long time. That Russia will always remember how Ukraine let US and UK use their country, their territories, to launch strikes inside of Russia. World War III begins. NATO troops at Russian border. So Poland is ramping up. Poland has a lot of military presence, US military presence, and these days they have also detected through satellite, Russian military, they have detected through satellites that there are a huge amount of weapons are being moving from one part to another in Poland. So Poland is becoming a big problem for Russia. NATO has begun transferring large amounts of armed vehicles, as you can see, to Poland, according to reports. Sergei Lebedev, a coordinator of a pro-Russian network, confirmed the military movements, sharing videos and photos of transports across France, Germany, and Poland. This transfer comes as tensions between NATO and Russia escalate. Russian President Putin warned NATO and Ukraine, stating that Russia is advancing its ORESHNIK missile systems to counter NATO, making nuclear weapons, quote-unquote, useless. That's exactly what Putin said, that all of this nuclear weapon you guys have, they're good for nothing. Now, I also want you to take a look at this particular report. So, U.S. military base in Poland is priority target, Russia warns. I shared this report with you guys before. I'm sharing this with you one more time because it is so important. What Russia said is what Russia is doing because of this arms movement within Polish territories is catching Russia's attention, and Russia is taking action. Now they're saying we are going to be deploying ORESHNIK in different part of Russia, and also they're deploying missiles in Belarus. And they have a meeting, I think, between Putin and Lukashenko from Belarus. He's the prime minister, president there. And they are now talking about how to use those weapons, those missiles against this European country, Poland, in the coming days. I will actually share with you another news in a second, but here what is happening. Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova said United States said a United States anti-missile base in Redskikowo, Poland, quote unquote, is a priority target for potential retaliation. So they made it absolutely clear that Poland know what they're going to be doing. The warning comes days after U.S. President Joe Biden authorized the use of long-range American missiles against Russia. What I understand is that this ATACMS missile and also Storm Shadow missiles and other kind of missiles will be in Poland. So Poland is becoming the, if you like, the battleground for the future battle to take place between NATO and Russia. Poland is on the focus. Russia made it very, very clear. US is also using Poland more than any other country. They have, I believe, 10,000 US troops already stationed there. So they're going to be taking full advantage of it, and also bring in weapons, more other technologies, maybe militaries from other European countries, who knows. But Poland is becoming very, very much of a focal point in this war. So it is now shifting from Ukraine to Poland, because we know that Ukraine cannot continue this war. The European countries will not support this war for eternity. At one point, the Ukraine will have to negotiate with Russia. And also we know that Donald Trump is already saying that you guys need to really stop supplying Ukraine with more money. I'm not going to be doing this. So Donald Trump is going to be holding back on the payment that Zelensky is receiving right now, and he would demand Zelensky to stop fighting and come to a negotiation. But after that, the European countries have a long-term plan, including obviously US, that once Zelensky surrenders or they come to a negotiation, then of course they will continue on pushing Russia or bullying Russia, if you like, to come to an agreement where they will be terrified of NATO and they will be scared of NATO. And this is what they really want to do at the end of the day. So this is what is coming right now. The Russia is saying that no, that is not going to be the case. What will happen is we will target Poland and those U.S. military bases in Poland. So they are making it absolutely clear to the rest of the whole world. Now, I want to also take a listen at this particular report here. It talks about the current situation in Poland.
A convoy of military trucks winds through the highways of Europe, leaving behind a trail of speculation and concern. Photographs from France's A63 motorway and videos from Germany's Magdeburg region capture an unmistakable reality. NATO is transferring military equipment to Poland on a massive scale. Sergei Lebedev, coordinator of the pro-Russian Nikolaev resistance, described the movements as noticeable even on European highways, raising alarms in both Minsk and Moscow. Speaking to Russia's RIA Novosti, Lebedev detailed alarming developments. Videos from Poland's Świnoujście port show a concentration of military ships, while Polish roads teem with military trucks. An agent described the scene as mostly ancient vehicles moving like flies in a village toilet. The agent suggested that Poland is being armed with greater urgency than Ukraine was before the launch of Russia's special military operation.
The reason also Poland is so sensitive, or not only just for Russia in terms of targeting their enemy, the next door enemy, it is also because NATO is part of Poland is part of NATO. If Poland is under attack, it would mean, without a shadow of a doubt, an answer or retaliation from the rest of the world, I mean the NATO nation, against Russia. And NATO doesn't want that. NATO does not want in any way, shape, or form to escalate a war with Russia and make it World War III. That's not in anybody's interest, and everybody knows it. This is why they're probably concentrating so much military effort and equipments and all of those things in Poland, just so that Russia knows that this is the red line they should never, ever even dare to cross, because Russia as I have mentioned more and more in the last few days, Russia is right now targeting no other country as much as they're targeting Poland. So this is I think is a good move from the NATO's part, that they're strengthening their military presence in Poland and sending a message to Russia that, hey, look, don't start this. We don't want World War III. But you never know what NATO will do. You can never trust them. They one moment they want peace, the next moment they say, okay, don't forget about it. We're gonna give new Ukraine ATACMS. We're gonna give them Storm Shadow missiles. Now, the good news is that Poland and its people, and especially the government, actually, they are pro-peace. This is what is coming on the news. Negotiations over the war in Ukraine could start in the winter, and this is coming from Poland's leader, Tusk says. So let's see what he's saying a little bit here. So basically he's saying that Poland's prime minister said Tuesday that negotiations over Russia's war in neighboring Ukraine could start in the winter as his country prepares to take over the rotating presidency of European Union on January the 1st. Our presidency will have, among others, joint responsibility for the shape of the political landscape, for what the situation will look like probably during the negotiations, that perhaps there are still question marks here, will bring in the winter of this year, Prime Minister Donald Tusk told his cabinet. In other words, Poland knows that if they don't reach to an agreement very soon with Russia, and also obviously Ukraine will have to be involved, then when Donald Trump comes, and if it is not resolved before he comes, then it could be too late, and Poland will have to pay a hefty price because of this delay, because of not reaching to a settlement with this country, between these countries and also Poland. Now, I also want to actually play the video a little bit here more. I don't have the video right now, but here's the thing. I just want to let you see it for yourself. So the Polish leader, he said, or he hoped, quote unquote, end effect of Poland's and the EU's efforts will be peace in Ukraine. So again, they don't want any more fighting in Ukraine. They want all of these things to stop so that they will start to stop this war and bring an end to it as soon as possible.